Sketch the graph of an example of a function f that satisfies all of the given conditions. The first condition tells us that the limit as x approaches 2 of f of x is equal to negative infinity. What that means is as x approaches 2 from the right and from the left, it is approaching negative infinity, which tells us that we have a vertical asymptote at x is equal to 2. So here at x is equal to 2, we have a vertical asymptote. Okay, and so that tells us again that as x is approaching 2 from the right, that means that it's approaching negative infinity. And as it is approaching 2 from the left, then we have on the other side, it's approaching negative infinity. Now let's take a look at the next condition. It says that the limit as x approaches positive infinity, then the function is going towards positive infinity. So that means as x is going towards positive infinity, we have this graph that's going towards positive infinity over here. So again, as x is going to the right, positive infinity, then we know that our function is going up to positive infinity. Now, the next part says the limit as x approaches negative infinity of f of x is equal to 0. So on the left side of the graph, as x is going towards negative infinity, then the function is going towards 0. So that means that we have this graph that is going in this direction, going towards 0. Now over here, it's saying that the limit as x approaches 0 from the right, then the limit is approaching, or the function is approaching positive infinity. So as you're coming into 0 on the right, that means that our function is going towards positive infinity. And as our function here says the limit as x approaches 0 from the left, then we can see that the function is going towards negative infinity. So now what we need to do is then just connect our lines, our arrows. So here we have this part of the graph, and then here we have this part of the graph, and then here we have this part of the graph. And therefore that defines the given conditions of this example. And so the only thing I want to do is now let's just label where our limits are. So we know that we have a vertical asymptote at x is equal to 2. We know that this arrow represented the limit as x was approaching positive infinity and the function was going towards positive infinity. And these two arrows down here, we had the limit as x approaches 2 of the function going towards negative infinity. We knew that this was the limit as x approaches 0 from the left of the function, which is going towards negative infinity. This arrow represented the limit as x is approaching negative infinity and the function was equal to 0. And this one represented the limit as x is approaching 0 from the right, then f of x was approaching positive infinity.